Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Lance, how are you?
Good, man. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you.
So, we got this whole webinar thing. It sounds kind of neat. And I heard stories that you went up to the North Pole and did a value stream optimization session with Santa Claus. Something about the naughty and nice list?
It was all on Zoom, so I didn't actually go to the North Pole, and
Oh,
the Santa's IT workshop's not actually at the North Pole either. So yeah, it's in an undisclosed location. But yeah, we did have a workshop with value stream management workshop with Santa's workshop.
so a workshop with the workshop. Well, cool. I'm really interested of how that went and what you uncovered. And really, I want to know, why have I been on the naughty list all these years?
Some might say that it was because of bugs in the naughty and nice software, but I don't know. It's kind of hard. That's not my place to say.
Okay. Well, you got some slides for us on this, right?
Sure. Yeah, we can go over to that. I'll
Awesome.
show you that. So here's our. So we did this. We did this workshop. And of course, when you do a value stream management workshop, you want to interview the management team and figure out why you're there in the first place and understand what their issues are and look for opportunities for improvement as you go. And here's where some of the issues that came up. The superficial things were, there's the nice children are getting cold by mistake.
That explains it.
Whole countries are ending up with the wrong toys and stuff like that. But what really underlying it all was, some of this is bugs just happen in software. And the big thing that was burning Santa's bottom was that it takes 2.5 months to get a fix to the list management software.
That explains a lot because, I'm pretty much nasty all year till the last 2 months.
That's about it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they can't get those last minute turnarounds in the list in time.
So if I did something nice in December, I'm still on the naughty list. See, that's the problem.
So as part of that, you identify the problems, you kind of figure out what the main really underlying things are, and you begin to map out the value stream. Of course, this is a conceptual slide. The one point to make here is that there's really multiple value streams at multiple levels in the hierarchy. The first one we mapped this one out using ConnectALL itself, the value stream management designer, value stream management, value stream mapping tool inside ConnectALL. And this one was focused on the information flow and the tool connections, the actual current state, the way things are all connected.
Oh, you get to eat cookies?
I had to bring my own because remember it was on GoToMeeting. So,
but it says there, eat cookies. So do you think Santa's doing Christmas virtually? Did you talk about that?
We didn't talk about that. That's the other side of operations. We limited our focus mainly to IT.
Oh, okay.
So the other value stream, this was also their current state. It's a little bit abstract, but pretty well maps out their value stream. The point here is that this isn't like one long value stream with word wrapping to get it to fit on a slide. This is 3 different conceptual views of the value stream. The top one's a product management kind of view. The highest level things that would be on kind of a roadmap that Santa would care about. Everything below that is too deep into the weeds. You need the detail in order to run the development shop and to break big epics down into smaller pieces of work. But those are value streams that you would want to map out and understand and improve at their own respective level of detail. So we have the request flow, the product management high-level flow, the Scrum team development flow, and then the flow of it's in value stream mapping. You would call that the material flow, the actual bits of the code and the build and the deployable that flows through a DevOps value stream as well.
So this doesn't look so bad. I mean, I've seen value streams that look a lot worse than this. Looks like, they have pretty good work intake, flow. They've got kind of the right kanbans, and their deployment looks pretty good. And I'm assuming they're doing a Scrum here, right? Are they
Yeah,
using
that's right.
Scrum?
Yeah, that's right.
It looks pretty good the way they're doing the work breakdown. Yeah, that looks good. I still don't know why I'm getting cold.
Well, part of the reason it looks good is because you had a value stream effort who kind of knew what they were doing. A lot of organizations do have these kinds of concepts in their organization. They have product managers and they have an approval flow or design flow is separate from the development flow. It's just they may not have known it. And until you kind of map it out, that kind of stuff is invisible to the organization.
Right, right. I'm just saying it looks like it looks pretty good from the way they have it mapped and
Oh, the
everything.
stage, right.
Yeah.
Yep, it wasn't bad. Then let's take a look at some of the cycle times in this flow. So they were able to get items into the Scrum team with the amount of lead time that they needed. They could get it into a sprint. So that wasn't really the focus of improvement. Yeah, you could find some improvement there, but the gating factor was not the product management lead time. So some of the things that we looked into is the development process itself. The 3.5 days average time to complete a story is okay, but they weren't following real test-driven development to the extreme that they could. They weren't doing pair programming as much as they could. There'd be some opportunities there. And one of the big things was that defects were getting identified. Some of them would get fixed in sprint, but too many of them would get identified late, or even after the sprint, they'd escape the sprint and they'd be found in regression or even in production. So a big thing there to really help the lead time is just improving quality there while you're doing the code, and not let things escape to later. So the recommendations we came up with weren't really to shrink the 3.5 days. It was to improve the output of that step.
Got it. So that's pretty long from regression to staging too, huh? 6 days, 7 days. So that's the wait time is what you kind of think was holding him up, or was it the defects too that created the wait time?
Well, those two things go hand in hand. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So what we did was we wanted to find, of course, if you can find low-hanging fruit, that's great. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew if you're in some kind of improvement process. And certain things that you really want to get to with this organization, if you want to get to the most mature Agile DevOps shop, it's going to take a couple of years, and you're going to have to take multiple steps. So this is the first set of steps that we identified. And so kind of starting from the left on the bottom, the merging was done late in the sprint, and they weren't really doing continuous integration. So each developer was not developing with other developers' stuff.
Right.
So that would mean that there's more opportunity for things to escape the sprint and be found in regression. So that's one thing.
So we talk a lot about lean and systems thinking too. So that's weight waste there, right? That's what we would call that?
Yes, that's definitely waste because of the poor quality.
Yeah.
Oh, weight waste because they're merging late as well. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Then
you had a good session on this one.
Yep. Just a couple of other things. They were doing the regression the following Monday after the end of the sprint, and that could be automated. That could be kicked off at the end of the build and eliminate a couple of days there. Mm-hmm. Then they had a deployment window to staging. It was on a Thursday, the next Thursday. And that was just because of legacy stuff. There's really no reason for it to be that way anymore. Back before they had an automated regression, that was the time that they needed. And everybody had to be really alert when they did that deployment. and just with the stroke of a pen, get everybody to agree that they can change the day that they do deployment on. They can eliminate 5 or 6 days out of their lead time. Then same thing with the production deployment. If they've already got a regression automation, if they can make some adjustments to it and run that in their staging environment, they can eliminate a week between deploying to staging and deploying to production. So often when you go look at these things, you can find a handful of stuff that's not too terribly hard or expensive that will improve quality and greatly reduce the lead time.
Well, great. I'm impressed with the session you had with them.
Yeah, it was very fun. And
So, are the developers elves?
no, actually, elves don't do development.
They're not good programmers?
I don't know that that's just not their. They tend to not like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but they have to if they're building like electronic toys now, right?
I don't know. As I say, I didn't go to the actual North Pole and see the actual workshop. All I got to see was the outsourced IT department.
And your session was really just focused on the naughty nice list then.
It was on that. We focused on that one piece of software, that one application. Of course, this is a huge, huge operation,
right?
And lots of different applications that they have. Some of them have the same process through the whole organization, through multiple applications. You can take the learnings from one and apply them to the other pretty easily. But there's certainly opportunity to take a look at the other applications as well.
Yeah. Well, this was really intriguing. I was like, wow, Santa called us to do this. And so since I've been to the North Pole and to Santa's workshop in a past career talking about Agile, it was really kind of neat to see this. So
the last thing that we talked about quite a bit is that he needs to have someone who feels they have the responsibility to actively manage that value stream. That last slide was my notes of some of the outcome that we gave him. But value stream management is Elven and human. It's something that a human has to do. You can't buy a tool that will manage your value stream for you. There's plenty of tools that help you out, but it actually takes a sentient being, if that's the right word, to actually manage a value stream.
So the reindeer can't do that, is what you're trying to say. But I would question that the elves could probably be pretty good at it.
Now, indeed, yes, indeed, they are quite good at project management. And if they just, you have to identify somebody and make them know that it's their responsibility. And then and pay attention to it, give them the authority and support too.
So he didn't try to recruit you, did he?
No comment on that.
I mean, with that beard, was he jealous of the beard?
No, I guess I'm kind of I'd stop screen sharing if I could figure out how.
Screen sharing.
Stop sharing. Okay. Yeah. It's a really impressive operation, and you can see I kind of became quite a fanboy of the old Jolly Feller, and so you can't spend much time working to Santa's workshop without kind of taking on their mentality.
Just 1 minute. How does all this relate to ConnectALL? Right. I mean, this is really cool, and we do these workshops. But as a solution, the reason why we can do this with ConnectALL is that, we can do a lot of the automation that he needs using the ConnectALL Value Stream Manager platform.
That's right.
Yeah.
The tool helps you quickly show what you've currently got, helps you see things flowing through, actively flowing through your value stream. And you can make multiple value stream maps. You can make a logical one as well as a physical one. You can make a tooling one. You can make an information flow value stream map right there in ConnectALL.
Right. And did he sign up with ConnectALL? Are they going to do something with us more? I mean, that workshop I think was really good, and I think there's a more detailed report, of course, that we gave to Santa about it.
That's right.
And so how did he feel at the end of that? Was he embraced to the things that you said, or?
Yeah, I think so, and I think he was appreciative. But it takes a while for some of these things to be put in play, and then you get in the busy season of the business cycle,
Yeah.
and then you just have to say, okay, right now I'm going to turn my focus somewhere else. I'm going to operate the business. I'm going to let some of these improvements stabilize. I think he'll be back. I think he will do another some more engagements next year, but understandably, this time of December, he's not really thinking too much about additional improvements.
Well, I see a lot of improvements, especially where you can improve flow from developers in through to operations to code and production. And I truly hope that he does take up on some of our recommendations, because I believe I should not be on the naughty list. I think it's nuts, and I think it's a programming problem when they went through the digital transformation. Um, well, that's great. Are you going to go visit him, or is it just we're done here and you're just going to do it all virtually from now on?
I'd really love to take a trip up there and actually see the workshop. And they probably do have some amount of IT in the actual workshop, just like uh, a lot of Walmart's IT is done in San Jose, but there's some stuff in Bentonville as well. So I'd really love to go see what Santa's got actually at the North Pole.
Yeah.
But we kind of got to wait till we get the pandemic over and it's safe to fly again. So at the moment, he's not going to let me in.
Oh, so is he still flying? Flying the reindeer, right? He didn't say anything about that. I mean, what was your conversation? Was he nice? Was he jolly?
But he's flying, but he's got first class. I mean, he's got his own sleigh and all. He doesn't have to worry about the pandemic.
When you were talking to him,
But oh yeah. Well, except for when you get him riled up and start talking about the errors in the Naughty Nice software, he was
yeah.
don't want to get on the bad side of that fella. But otherwise, yeah.
And a question, and we can talk a little bit more about value stream and some of the things that we do at ConnectALL for these workshops. Did he have beard envy?
Well, back then my beard was quite a bit shorter, and no, his is a lot fuller. He was he was supportive. He didn't get uptight about it at all. I think he took it as a compliment.
Yeah. Well, talking about value stream and kind of wrapping up our webinar here today, and then we'll go to questions if there are any. It's really kind of neat as we're going into that next phase of maturing the value stream management market and these workshops and things that we're offering. We've done with a few companies, not just Santa. I think I think that Peter Rabbit signed up too. And Jack Frost, we're trying to figure out how to, knock his value stream to just not be existent to get us all cold. But the point I'm getting at is these workshops are opening up, and they're uncovering all places where you can improve flow in your software delivery. And we performed a bunch of these workshops, and they're really helping organizations look at how they're developing software through their end-to-end value stream, and look at how they're using Agile or Kanban or the flow between all of it. Because really, value stream management, even though we have a great value stream management solution, it's human. So the things that we uncover may not even include using ConnectALL's value stream platform. It may be small little things that you can do in an optimization session to help you just improve flow incrementally by looking at lead time, wait time, and the different metrics. So ConnectALL is now really all about helping companies see, measure, and automate their value stream. And this is just one great example that we went through. And I'm excited to see the market really start to embrace this thought of looking at it holistically and removing waste. So if there's any questions for Andrew or myself, can be beard focused if you want. Let's open it up to that.
And while we wait for the questions to come in, one other thing to point out on your last point is that all of those recommendations that are discussed for Santa's workshop, none of them were tooling. Now, there's some of the things that, to improve their deployment automation, to eliminate a couple more manual steps, or maybe to be able to do continuous integration more effectively. There may be some tooling changes that they would want to do, but our workshop, of our stream workshop, is not about how to use ConnectALL more or better. It encompasses everything, as you said, in the value stream, lean and agile concepts.
Yeah, I mean, we might do a whole workshop and not even recommend ConnectALL. So one question came in is, how did you measure the lead times between all those? So how did you actually get that measurement? What did you do to measure that time?
Well, part of what we did is we got some data out of ConnectALL Insights. What ConnectALL Insights does is it pulls all the data from all the tools in your value stream, puts that into a data warehouse, and we have a BI tool that we provide. And you can build any kind of metrics. You're not limited to just a few, canned metrics that one particular company thinks are the most important things, or focus on the door metrics. You got to have only the door metrics. Or
right.
It's we have quite a few. It's not even just quite a few. It's an unlimited number that you can do, because all the data is there. So we began to we pulled some of that data out of the Insights database. But in addition to that, some of the stuff, you're doing Scrum, and some of the stuff you can just do by interviewing people. You can get a lot of good value stream improvement discoveries just by talking to the humans and estimating what the average cycle time is for a particular step.
Right. So actually, you use ConnectALL to do that part of it.
We use ConnectALL to pull data from all the tools into the ConnectALL Insights database and look at the metrics in the tool.
Well, great. So how did you start the discussion? That's the other question in here. The VSM optimization sessions, how do you start them out? What do you do? Is it one big meeting to get it mapped out? What's the process?
Well, there's the best way is to get a few people in the room that are responsible for, or very knowledgeable in, multiple aspects of the value stream. Remember how I said that there's multiple views of the value stream, there's multiple tiers, there's multiple perspectives. Get them into a big room and allow them get their mind around, clear their calendars, get them to spend a couple of half days. The second one to see what you come up with as you sleep on it. But you can do it with just a person. If you don't have the time or the budget, or if the organization's not really warmed up to the idea yet, you can take that person, that human who's actively very interested in the value stream, and sit down with them and make a first draft. A lot of times I find that you can make that first draft of a value stream map, show it to people, and purposefully put something wrong in there, and then they become very interested in helping you with the value stream map. They don't like to see things that are wrong. So that's one kind of trick you can use sometimes to pull more people in.
So I got one last question, and this is actually an interesting question. It says, I'm tired of getting coal in my stocking every year. If I optimize my value stream, will it keep me off the naughty list? I'll make a commitment now that if you do a VSM workshop with ConnectALL, because Andrew now has a relationship, we'll keep you off the naughty list.
We're tight. I got the end. Yeah, absolutely. I can talk to the ops folks over there and make sure that.
So if you do a VSM session with ConnectALL, you'll not be on the naughty list.
We can get an ops ticket put in for Centen's IT ops, and
right.
Absolutely. I think you asked that question. That's not really from a participant. I think you put that one in. That was a canned question.
Well, I'm not going to do a ConnectALL VSM session.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I am. I do host them like you do, but Maybe I don't have. Maybe I don't know.
You're too high level.
I'm too high level. Yeah, right. Well, cool. Well, I really enjoyed this webinar, Andrew. You and I always have good, interesting, fun webinars. I hope everybody else enjoyed the jovial nature of our presentation today. And if you have any questions, or if you want to start doing your own VSM workshop, and we have initial assessment, which we don't charge for, to give you a good feeling about what you'll get for that. Please let us know. If you want to integrate, automate, trigger, monitor anything in your value stream, reach right out to us. ConnectALL Solutions is the best at doing that. I really believe we have the best in that from that perspective. So thank you so much.
You got to give them an email address.
Oh, yeah. You can contact us at sales@connectall.com.
And that'll get you in touch of the free value stream assessment.
Somebody just sent a note here. Lance needs to stay on the naughty list.
Canned questions keep Lance on the naughty list.
I know. So, Merry Christmas to everybody who is watching this webinar, and Merry Christmas to you, my friend Andrew.
Thank you, Lance. Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy New Year.